Mentioned that this motor on the Sunbird is the same that's in these subs. Would you be able to tell us more about that? So this is one of the Super Sub 30s that we just heard. You were telling me earlier that they operate on a different principle than a normal speaker. Well, you have a magnet. Speakers have a magnet, usually a round magnet, and then you have a coil of wire in your speaker. You have a diaphragm, and when you have electricity or current flowing through a coil of wire that's immersed in a magnetic field, it will want to move in one direction or the other. In fact, you can give that a shot. Why don't you give that a try? What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the workshop. Sorry for the delay.
Pneumonia is inflammation in your lungs caused by an infection. You have two lungs, one on each side of your chest. Each lung has separate sections called lobes. Normally, as you breathe, air moves freely through your trachea or windpipe, then through large tubes called bronchi. Washington State University. Ito ang mga silver kaya na ituturing na mas matahol pa sa demanda.
Now, I need to find the center of the circle, but the only tools I have access to are one dimension and square set. I'm going to show you three basic methods. Add personal energy strategies with Legend Agent in just 1 second. Open system settings, then go to My Energy Profile. Make sure you're using My Legend version 4.0 or later. Personal strategies available with self-consumption. It's possible to fix. It has survived neglect, low light, and irregular watering without complaint. But today is different. From the center of the plant, a long, slender stalk has emerged. Along it, small, pale flowers are beginning to open, releasing a soft. Slows down the circle.
Video nga pala dito ko ng tutorial ng solar light na to kasi wala pa lang to. So, explain ko na lang sa inyo ngayon. So, balik yung solar light na to, mabilis na load.
When we talk about battery storage and their importance, usually access to solar. How do you implement that? Well, you have 2 minutes of kilometers per hour. You need radiance, 200 kilometers per hour. Semi balloon, also 276 kilometers per hour. Laser arc, 207 kilometers per hour. Auto drop, 206 kilometers per hour. And Naomi Osaka, speed of 205 kilometers per hour. Here comes personal pride, Alex Ayala. So, para mag-try ko, papalapin ko yung pasilama, sulok yung ating mga revenue outlet. Kaya hilang, karamihan po sa mga sunog ng bahay. Kaya, delikado po ito. Kaya alamin natin kung bakit naman. So, ngayon, pwede na natin.
but the lives of the people who call it home. For the Mustang I-301, San Fernando, Pampanga, originally when he had a real name.
Nagsiwalat ng exploitation, fix muna bago simulan ang operasyon. Mag-una, mag-obserba muna kung anong kulay ang parating lumalabas at magsimula doon. Mag-obserba ng at least 10 na laro. Bakit dapat gawin ang tip na ito? The rationale behind this, baka nga may kabalansang nangyayari pero hindi natin alam. Pangalawa, kung may napili ng kulay, tumaya lamang ayon sa bet limit. Kung malaki ang bet limit, pwede kang magsimula sa malaki. Pero pag maliit, advice ko, magsimula sa pinakamababang kaya at kung masaya ka. Dahil, sa maliit ng scale at ang puhunan natin dito, dahil napakababa na potential natin dito. May link sa description about sa first research of the world. Secondly, ano itong scale? Ito, bilang pangatlo, at ang pinaka-bigger picture lahat. Ito yung exploitation. Ito yung parang halimbawa, nagsimula ka sa 20 pesos, at kung matalo sa round, ang gagawin sa susunod ay dudublihin. 40 na ang kaya na. Kung matalo ulit, doble. 80 na. Kung matalo ulit, 150. Kung matalo ulit, 320, and so forth. Hanggang sa manalo. At kung manalo ka na, balik ka sa usual bet mo. Ito yung 20. Repeat, profit lang. So, after mo yung panalo yun. Ito kung ayaw na scale up, at yung 40 ng 60, 20, 21, ay kung manalo ang color mo ng doble. O kung maswerte ka, triple. Diyan yung panalo. Sa ulitin ko, anong nagpili? Kung manalo ang color mo ng doble o triple. Diyan yung panalo. Pangapat at panghuli. Kasi alam mo na ito ng mga perya, medyo delikado. Pag nalaman ng bangka na ginagawa mo ito, may sansang nalagay ka sa hindi magandang situation. Kaya para maiwasan ng ganitong kalagayan, ang dapat gawin ay maghanap ng partner o kung may nobya ka, mas mabuti. Kung hindi, para may free naman ang samahan niyo. So, boss, yes sir, may deal ka ako. Ano ang sistema? Simple lang. Take turns when losing a bet. Pagkatiyan niyo yung gusto. Next, I begin disassembling the faucet, assembling one piece at a time. I work carefully and keep every component arranged in correct order so reassembly will be much easier later. As I take it apart, I inspect each part closely because something as simple as a worn rubber seal, a damaged washer, or a deteriorated component can cause a constant leak. Hopefully, once we've checked everything, we'll quickly identify the problem and get this faucet working properly again. While continuing taking the faucet apart, I'd like to ask you this. Where are you watching this video? Let me know your city or country in the comments below. Every time I read the comments and see people watching from all around the world, it truly makes my day. Don't forget to tell me where you're watching from. I'll do my best to read as many comments as I can. And who knows, I might even reply to yours in my next video. Thank you so much for your continued support. After completely disassembling the faucet, I quickly found the source of the leak. The main culprit is this rubber sealing washer. After years of use, it has deteriorated and developed a small tear. That tiny gap is enough to let water leak continuously whenever the faucet is in use. Before making the repair, however, I'm going to thoroughly clean all of the faucet components using a specialized cleaning solution. After years of service, a considerable amount of dirt, limestone, and mineral deposits have built up inside. If these deposits aren't removed first, they can prevent the new seal from seating properly and may even shorten the lifespan of the internal components. Spending a few extra minutes cleaning everything thoroughly will help ensure a better repair and keep the faucet working smoothly once it's reassembled. While I wait for these parts to finish cleaning, I'd like to ask you something. Have you ever had a faucet at home that kept dripping like this? When it happened, did you fix it yourself, call a plumber, or simply replace the faucet with a new one? Let me know in the comments below so everyone can learn from your experience. I'm sure everyone has their own way of dealing with this problem, and your advice might be exactly what someone else watching this video needs. I always take the time to read your comments and learn from the experiences you share. After thoroughly cleaning and drying all the components, it's time for the most important part of the repair. Instead of buying a new sealing washer, I'm going to make one from old faucet and inner seal. It's a material that's easy to find, costs almost nothing, and offers excellent flexibility and sealing performance, making it a great fit for this repair. First, I place the old washer on top of the inner tube to use it as a template, then carefully place its exact fit. Once everything is marked, I use a pair of scissors to cut along the outline. With a little patience, it's easy to make a replacement washer that's almost identical to the original and ready for installation. Before installing the new washer, I noticed a few raised areas on the rubber left by the manufacturer's embossed logo. If I leave them as they are, the washer won't sit perfectly flat against the sealing surface, making it much more likely to leak again. So I use a piece of fine grit sandpaper to gently smooth both sides until the surface is completely flat and even. It only takes a few minutes to achieve the desired shape. Now it's time to reassemble the entire faucet. Will this homemade rubber washer completely eliminate the leak? Let's put it to the test and find out. At last, it's time to see the results. As you can see, the faucet is no longer leaking. The water flows smoothly, and every connection is sealed perfectly. With nothing more than a piece of an old bicycle inner tube and a few minutes of work, we completely fixed the problem without having to replace the entire faucet. Sometimes, a little creativity and a few simple materials are all it takes to save a surprising amount of money. If you found today's project helpful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with others. Every bit of support encourages me to keep creating more DIY projects and sharing simple yet effective repair tips. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. But after taking a closer look, I started wondering, if it can no longer be used for its original purpose, could some of its internal parts be repurposed to create something completely different? So instead of turning it into waste, today I'm going to give this old glue gun a second life. I'll take it apart and reuse whatever parts are still in good condition to create something entirely new. Will the idea actually work? Let's watch until the end and find out what this old glue gun will become. As you can see, after opening up the casing, most of the internal components of the old hot glue gun have deteriorated. The electrical connections are worn, and some of the parts no longer work as they originally did. However, there is still one component that looks surprisingly intact, the metal heating assembly. Instead of throwing everything away, I decided to repurpose this metal
when you go outside and you have waterproof it.
Awakening. That's not a guess. It's a documented pattern. Picture someone in this situation, a composite of the kind of case that comes up often. A woman, early 70s, retired librarian, still hosts book club every week. Healthy, active, no obvious warning signs. Her mornings look almost identical to millions of other people's mornings. And that's exactly the point. This isn't about doing something rare or reckless. It's about four completely ordinary habits. I'm a health researcher. On this channel, I review published research on senior health and put it into plain English, the kind of explanation a 15-minute appointment rarely has time for. Before we go further, if any of this feels useful as you go, hit subscribe. I put one of these out every week. So let's talk about what's actually happening in your body in that first hour. Think of your cardiovascular system overnight like a quiet river. Slow current, low pressure, everything settled. The moment you wake up, that river gets a sudden rush of new water. Your blood pressure rises specifically. Step 4, and almost nobody does this one. Not drinking water at all. This one's different from the other three. It's not about avoiding extra stress. It's about actively supporting your system during the hour it needs it most. Overnight, you lose fluid just through breathing, and you go 7 or 8 hours without replacing any of it. That means your blood volume is already slightly reduced right as your body manages its biggest pressure shift of the day. The fix: a full glass of water, 8 to 12 ounces, before anything else.
Keep it on your nightstand the night before, so it's the first thing you see. If you take a diuretic, that's worth mentioning to your doctor, since your fluid needs may be individual to your situation. If you have a parent, spouse, or friend this applies to, this is worth 60 seconds of their time. Send it to them. Now the question I know is sitting in your head. Is my morning routine really connected to my heart health, or is this a stretch? Here's the honest answer. Cardiologists and researchers have studied morning cardiovascular risk for decades, precisely because the pattern is so.
No other bird on our planet makes an incredibly calculated free fall into the ocean and disappears below the surface. What?
Mick Jagger, 83 years old in 2020.
So we got this new sun guy between. So we got this new sun guy between Tommy and you. Is gonna take on. Look at this. Look at this. Of course, do you think we can see any of that in our fight? You guys don't. Don't see any of those moves. This is G1, of course, in the outcome down the right. You just down or is obvious. Who's or maybe not. Maybe just ground and pound it. Ooh, yeah, just ground and pound. Just ground and pound. Okay, yeah. There you go, got it. Or you spin the leg to one side to open up the rest of his body, just spin up in gear. Oh, there it is. There it is. That's the guillotine right there. Yep, that's the guillotine choke. Ooh. The guillotine choke. Oh, he tapped. Wow. Another Wing Chun master fumbled and called out by a Shaolin Kung Fu hockey. Look at it. He's like, ooh. He's like, ooh. Wow. 师兄啊，坐下。让龙队学习。非常好，非常好，保持状态，保持状态。因为我们传统武术有一个弊端，就是很少实战，这是我一直，我也是对很多老师，我就说了，你第一点实战，你教什么理论，你不知道上面开车，所有的人网络上那些大师，人家不实战的，都是铁炮。
He just is such an automatic player. He just knows the game and understands the game so well. Things just come so natural to him.
In this video, we'll look some of the impossible shots and plays of the magician Efren Reyes and discover why he is also called the master of creativity. Watch this rack and see Efren Reyes doing what he does best, creating magic on the table. Efren pockets the one ball and tries to break out the two from the three, but the position doesn't really go his way.
It's off angle and far too strange for him to attempt, I believe.
No panic though. He just takes his time, studies the table, and looks for a way out.
Well, that works. We have the momentum going for us. We'll have over the last couple of games.
After a brief moment of calculation, Efren comes up with something brilliant.
He's pointing for that great sticky shot.
Efren goes for the 2-ball. It kisses the 3-ball and the 8-ball along the way, and still the 2-ball drops clean into the corner pocket. As you can see, it's clear that Efren really planned that shot. The crowd goes wild after seeing that shot, and even Efren can't help but smile. From there, it's all smooth sailing. He takes control of the rack and finishes it off without any trouble. In this rack, Efren pulled off a creative shot you don't usually see in a match, showing his eye for angles and a touch of magic for the audience. Efren's opponent here is a former pro,
and she played the rack really well, pocketing balls cleanly. With a perfect spread and excellent cue ball control, she made it look easy, pocketing balls one after another with no trouble. Everything looked smooth, until the 8-ball. She sank it, but the cue ball didn't land well for the 9, leaving her with a tough angle. Still, she went for the side pocket, but missed. Then Efren came back to the table. He took his time, studied the layout, and saw the 9 wasn't an easy shot on the side. He checked the angles carefully, and everyone waited to see what he would come up with. Then left the audience smiling and amazed. In this exhibition, Efren impressed the crowd with a creative shot he made here. Efren ended up with an unexpected cue ball position on the 8, with the cue ball frozen to it. For most players, this would be a difficult situation, but for Efren, it became an opportunity to entertain the audience with a creative shot. Efren took a moment to study the shot, and you can see him pointing at the side pocket, showing where he planned to sink the 8 balls. Let's watch. Efren pulled off a kickbank shot on the 8-ball and successfully pocketed it in the side pocket. The crowd loved it and was amazed once again by the magician's creativity. Watch this great shot by Efren, who saw an opportunity to finish the rack early. Efren's opponent played a safety, and when Efren came back to the table, he took a look at the layout. Efren went for a kick shot, but it opened things up for his opponent. Efren's opponent then responded with another safety, hiding the cue ball behind the 9. Let's see how the magician handles this one. Efren went for a kick shot on the 3. The cue ball made a kiss on the 3, then caromed straight into the 9, which dropped into the pocket. Unbelievable. Efren is also a strong carom player, so situations like this are right up his alley. Entertain the crowd? That's exactly what Efren Reyes did here, with a one-of-a-kind finish on the last ball. Efren called the 10-ball in the side pocket, and the crowd just laughed. It sounded crazy, until he actually pulled it off. Let's watch. Instead of taking the easy corner pocket on the 10-ball, the magician decided to put on a show and send it into the side pocket instead. Pure creativity, pure confidence. Classic Efren Reyes. In this match, Efren Reyes showed both his creativity and his mastery of carom shot.
You know, he was trying to make that. And I think all doing this hit this.
His opponent failed to get good position on the 5-ball, and let's see what his opponent will do.
You know, the shots now, you know, every shot means a lot. I mean, it could mean the whole match. He's missed again. He's not going to snooker in here.
Efren's opponent attempted a bank shot sitting very close to the 9. Seeing the opportunity, he came up with a smart strategy. Watch this.
Yeah, he's going to have to get the crowd out of his mind because
Efren played a beautiful carom shot, striking the 5 with perfect spin on a cue ball so it would glance into the 9. The shot worked perfectly, and what looked like a simple shot turned out to be another smart piece of play from Efren. Want to see some crazy cue ball positioning from the magician? Watch this.
Game so well, things just come so natural to him.
Efren shows off his insane cue ball control here, using smooth side spin to bring the cue ball perfectly onto the 7-ball. The way he moves the cue ball around the table is just pure creativity. This is why they call him the master of creativity. And that's some classic Efren Reyes creativity. Amazing shots and unbelievable plays from the magician. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like,
How to launch and fly a kite.
This guy claims to be a kung fu master with over 30 years of training. He walks into a boxing gym and challenges a young fighter who's only been training for 8 months. But with just one cross, the kung fu master drops to the floor and refuses to continue the fight.
Hey! Hey! There's a guy! Maria! Это Брэм! Это Брэм!
It's 3 a.m. The house is silent, and you're awake again. Not because you're anxious, not because of a noise outside, but because of that.
Oh, I get it. I put some emotion in it.
builds a beautiful torii gate as part of a sacred ritual. Standing before it, he quietly says his final goodbye. His original plan has never changed. He still intends to perform seppuku, but only after honoring his ancestors in the proper way. Before he can carry out the ritual, disaster strikes again. A group of mysterious natives suddenly ambushes him from behind. One of them smashes a stone into his head, knocking him unconscious. They destroy the torii gate he worked so hard to build, tie him up, and carry him away by boat to their settlement on the mainland. When Riku wakes up, he finds himself surrounded by several terrified prisoners. A powerful tribal warrior removes his mask while silently staring at his newest captive. Nearby sits another prisoner who is already missing one of his legs. The horrifying truth soon becomes clear. These people are cannibals, and they are slowly eating their prisoners alive, one body part at a time. Soon, the tribe's shaman arrives. Instead of killing the prisoners immediately, he feeds them fruit and even treats Riku's wounds. It isn't an act of kindness. They simply want their food to stay alive as long as possible. Then, the nightmare truly begins. The bald prisoner has his remaining leg deliberately broken before it is sliced off using Riku's own sword.
Denso Home and Commercial Appliances offers the widest selection of heavy-duty inverter chest freezers, available from 3.5 cubic feet up to 26 cubic feet, and are designed with advanced features for flexibility, energy savings, maximum performance, and accuracy and convenience. Level up your food storage with 3 Denso AC inverter chest freezers. Upgrade your home, upgrade your business with Food Denso. Quality above all.
Another helpless captive has his tongue brutally cut out after one of the cannibals can no longer control his hunger. The screaming echoes throughout the settlement as the victims are covered with strange petals and mysterious substances before being forced to drink their own blood. Riku watches in horror as another prisoner loses both of his legs and an arm while lying unconscious. Every second inside the camp proves that this place is nothing but a living nightmare. Finally, the shaman forces Riku to drink from a strange horn filled with an unknown liquid. The moment he swallows it, reality begins to blur. In a powerful vision, he sees his 2 sons standing before him. They look directly into his eyes and demand only one thing: bring them 50 pirate heads. The hallucination fills Riku with terrifying strength. To the amazement of the cannibals, their helpless prisoner suddenly stands up and calmly declares, "The heads on your shoulders belong to me." Within seconds, chaos erupts. Riku crushes the first guard's skull with a heavy stone. The second charges with a spear, but Riku wraps a rope around the man's neck and strangles him to death. Without a proper blade, he struggles to remove the first head, using nothing but a crude wooden tool. The gruesome sight leaves the nearby tribesmen frozen in fear. Still trapped inside his drug-induced vision, Riku wanders deeper into a cave covered with ancient drawings, but nothing prepares him for what waits beyond the dark town before he can escape. The tribe sails back to the mysterious island, where they first found Riku. Confident in their numbers, they spread through the dense forest with bone weapons in their hands. But they quickly realize they are no longer the hunters, they have become the prey. Hidden among the trees, Riku silently stalks them one by one. Every movement is precise, every attack perfectly timed. The deafening cries of monkeys echo through the jungle, masking the sounds of his deadly strikes. Before the warriors even understand what is happening, several of them collapse without ever seeing their killer. At one point, 3 tribesmen surround Riku at once. It makes no difference. The battle is over almost as soon as it begins, and all 3 lie dead within moments. The surviving warriors regroup and cautiously move into an open field. Riku has already prepared for this. From a hidden position, he fires 2 arrows with deadly accuracy. Panic spreads through the group as the rest dive into the tall grass for cover. One nervous warrior becomes distracted by a large monitor lizard crawling nearby. The brief moment of hesitation costs him his life as an arrow pierces straight through his eye. The remaining tribesmen attempt to retreat, but 2 more are eliminated before they can escape. Desperate to end the nightmare, the tribe's shaman finally spots Riku standing motionless in the distance. Believing they have cornered him, the warriors charge forward without realizing they are walking directly into another trap. Riku has already filled the battlefield with thick smoke by setting fires throughout the forest. Hidden inside the burning haze, he waits with nothing but a sharpened wooden spear. As the confused warriors stumble through the smoke, Riku strikes with terrifying speed, cutting them down one after another before disappearing again into the darkness. The shaman barely survives the massacre. Shaken to his core, he returns to the village where the new chief quietly studies another haiku that Riku has left behind. When the chief asks if they found the samurai, the shaman slowly shakes his head. No, he found us. Fear instantly spreads through the tribe. Some warriors begin whispering a single terrifying word: demon. Determined to end the nightmare, the entire tribe charges toward the smoke-covered shoreline, but Riku is already waiting for them. The ocean has finally rewarded his patience. Among the wreckage washed onto the beach, he has discovered a perfectly intact katana. For the first time since the shipwreck, a true samurai sword rests in his hands once again. Before the battle begins, Riku quietly admits that he misses his family. Then he raises his katana and takes his fighting stance. The new chief removes his bone mask and commands every warrior to attack, choosing to watch from a safe distance while his tribe rushes forward. The result is absolute slaughter. Against an unarmed survivor, the cannibals once held every advantage, but against a fully armed samurai, they stand no chance. spears shatter against flawless swordsmanship. Every swing of Riku's katana is clean, precise, and fatal. Wave after wave of warriors charges toward him, only to fall seconds later. Blood covers the beach as bodies pile higher with every passing minute. For the first time since losing everything, Riku fights with a smile. He has finally found a reason to keep living. After wiping out countless enemies, Riku charged rage. Screaming wildly, the fighter leaps through the air, moving like a wild animal as he circles his enemy. But no matter how unpredictable his attacks become, Riku remains calm. The moment an opening appears, he grabs the man's leg and slices straight through his Achilles tendon. Even with his leg ruined, the warrior refuses to surrender and continues attacking until Riku finally ends the fight with one decisive strike. Before Riku can catch his breath, a heavy club crashes into his back. Watching nearly his entire tribe fall before a single man, the chief finally makes his last move. He orders the shaman to fight. The old man steps forward without fear. Long ago, he was known as one of the tribe's greatest warriors, and now he prepares to prove that his legend is real. Removing the necklace made from human vertebrae around his neck, he grips a wooden staff and calmly faces the blood-covered samurai. Despite his small frame, the shaman's movements reveal years of deadly experience. For the first time since reclaiming his katana, Riku is about to face an opponent who might actually be worthy of him. The battle enters its final stage, as the shaman calmly steps forward with nothing but a wooden staff. Unlike the other warriors, he doesn't rush in blindly. He keeps his distance, forcing Riku to stay alert while using the long weapon to control every movement. Even after
Hey!
Disrupt the ecosystem.
There's no sense of that.
Det noen ute i fjorden.
是啊，不是您的，要不小东我喜欢不带很好。
Hello, friends. Ed Jernon rescued a dehydrated hummingbird that dog her sugar syrup every 15 minutes. Although hummingbirds are adapted to heat, prolonged extreme heat does become a serious challenge for them. Therefore, if the hummingbird is severely weakened, do not try to feed it yourself. It is better to contact a wildlife rehabilitation specialist as soon as possible.
Huwag mo ko nakulong! Kana! Kana! Kulong ka na! Kalap ka lang dito! Tumahi ka na sa labas, tumahi ka na naman dito. Pinatay ko na nga muna bago pasok dito. Pagdating dito, tumain na naman. Oo. Bibig na. Hindi ko kain dito sa loob. Pupunin ko na yan ang dressing yan. Hindi naman tissue.
Highlands Gold uses Angus beef and premium.
Tulong ka na sa hindi ka na makakapasok dito. Ito na naman. Paglabas mo, hindi.
Hindi mo na, bilang na oras mo. Yan na si Iki.
Bebe. Kaya nga pagkakita mo.
Ano pa? Ay, nasa tenga, may ano pa rin, buhol-buhol eh. Hindi mo maganda magpupres doon. Kumain na ako. Ano ba yan?
Ang gagawin! Ayaw pagpagad! At ang yan daw naligo na ikaw, hindi pa. Manong, kailangan mo. Patapos na. Pag lumaso na, ligo tayo. Bakit? Ano ka marinig ito na? Wala na. Bigil. Maligo ka yan. Paligo mo. Bigil ka ko yan. Bibig ka. Maligo sa ulan. Kiss pa ay. Cover. Kaya na eh. So, pwede lumabas maputik. Mapuputik ka lang. Pag lumabas ka na, wala nang pasok dito. Hindi pwede pumasok dito pag lumabas ka na. Putik sa labas eh. Ang gagawin mo dyan? Kung alam niya si din, alam ko na gagawin niya eh. Sana! Ano, mag-aaral ka din ng tissue? Ano to, may... Hindi na bibilig yun. Kaya mo pa yun. Kaya ka na lang dito sa banyo. Kaya mo. Ana! Wala pang ng ulam. Ay, makalawa, wala pang ulam. Lapit na pa, lapit na pa. Jadi tidak disebut. Jadi, nah,